Okay. Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Solex family. So glad to be with you guys today. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about personality styles and how it impacts you and the people that you love and working with, including the people that we're working with as prospective clients and also our team. So I'm going to, I need to share my screen. Can everybody see this? Good. Thanks, Troy. Okay. So there's basically four personality types, and there's different ways that you can talk about them. And one of the most recent trainings that I was at talked about the colors, and we use colors in um, our inner voice. And so I thought, well, why not just use colors? So Tony Robbins says the way we communicate with others. So this is really going to help with communication. Okay. So the way we communicate with others and ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. And boy, that is so true. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to go through the four colors and the personality styles. And I want you to be thinking about, does that fit me, or does that fit somebody who I love or I work with? And we're going to talk a little bit about it in a minute, but I'm going to go through the four basic colors first, and then we're going to have a discussion. And then I'm going to share about, so I'm a master NLP trainer and coach. And so I'm also going to share how using those strategies. So NLP is neuro linguistic programming, and it's really the science of the unconscious mind. So once we go through the four basic, and I've heard it, some companies talk about there's four, like there's sea creatures like dolphins, whales, sharks, and urchins, I think is the other one. Some people use seasons of the year, spring, summer, fall, winter. Some people use the disc profile. It is, they're all the same categories. They just call it something different each time. So we're going to do the colors because we know colors have frequencies, and so we're going to use the color model. So the red personality type you could think of as fiery red, and some of the good qualities that you might see in a red are they are driven, they like to be in charge, they are hardworking, they take action, they are successful, and they are great organizers. A lot of people in sales are reds. A lot of people who are trainers are reds. Um, the areas that are available for growth in their life is that they can be too dominant. They don't always listen. They can be demanding. They interrupt. They get mad easily, and they could be egotistical. So that's the other side of it, right? So those are our red personality types. I will tell you, I've done extensive testing in this area. So I got this 4-hour disc profile. So in the disc profile, this is the D. My test results show that my D and my I, which would be my red and my blue, are tied. So it really depends on what setting I'm in. So if I'm talking about sales, my red seems to come out more. If it's in my personal life, the blue comes out more. So, and really the goal is to be able to embody a little bit of all of it. So that's our red personality type. So the next one we're going to talk about is blue. And they say they're the cool blue. They are fun, adventurous, center of attention. Again, a lot of performers are in this category. They enjoy selling because they think it's fun. Not to reach. So reds enjoy selling because they want to make the achievement in the sales, whereas the blue enjoy selling because it's all about the interaction and and being free. Dynamic and popular. The areas. So we're going to start with the positives, and then I don't want to call it negatives. I just always say the opportunity for growth and development. So the opportunity for growth and development for the blues are dramatic, talk too much, poor at following up, unorganized, exaggerate, and they don't listen. So that's the areas that they can, that's the opportunities for growth and development for our blue friends. The next category is our yellows. Our yellows are those sunshine people. I will say my mom was a total yellow. And another way people describe it, the reds are, they call them organizers. The blues, they call them catalysts because they're out of the box. The yellows, they call helpers. So those sunshine people, they're very much caring, very caring, sentimental, helpful. They do things to help other people. Like that's what drives them. If they could help somebody, that's our yellow people. They're protective, patient, and loving. And again, like that was my mom, like just amazing. Now their areas for growth and development are they can stress very easily. They have anxiety, they suffer, they worry a lot, and they get their feelings hurt easily, and they do not like to be uncomfortable. And so that's some areas for yellows to grow in. Then our last category that we're talking about is green, and they say earth green. And in the other category, like when I was talking about organizers and catalysts and helpers, this category, I think it really gives it a like a good synopsis, is they're called thinkers. These are the people who like the facts. They are very much about trying to have security and certainty. They're very intellectual. They want all of the details. They're all about common sense, and they can be very passive. The opportunity for growth and development for this personality type is we call it analysis paralysis, right? They're very analytical. It's hard for them to make decisions because they just cannot even know enough. They like to investigate everything, and then they investigate where the sources came from. They just continually, they can't know enough information. They're not very social. They really don't show emotion. That's not their area of strength, and they can be stubborn. So those are the 4 personality types. So are you starting to see maybe where you kind of fit in with these personality styles? So if people would like to either raise their hand, or I don't know how you want to do this, but like let me know what you are thinking. Oh, I just lost. Okay, Wendy, what do you see you as?
Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you.
Well, then I apologize for coughing earlier.
Oh, I couldn't hear you then. I couldn't hear you then.
Good. I would say that I am blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow. I can see that. Yeah,
Mostly.
for sure.
Hi.
Okay. Anyone else want to share what they're seeing for themselves, what color they are?
Recording in progress.
Oh, hi, Dr. Deb.
Hi, I have to escape out of here.
I'm sorry. I was trying to be discreet.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my phone, and
I'm on in here. I'm going to mute myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's doing a echo.
I know. I'm terribly sorry.
Here, I'm going to mute you out to get rid of that. Okay. So, Miss Joyful Noise.
Yeah, Sylvia. Hi, Wendy.
Sylvia, thank you.
Oh, hi, Sylvia. So glad you're here.
I don't know how to change my handle. Joyful Noise is what I came up with during COVID because obvious reasons. But anyway, I'm red and blue, but I'm actually the best of all the colors.
Yeah. Well, and that's the ultimate goal, right? That's the ultimate goal. So it sounds like we're alike, a lot alike. So I will tell you, if you're interested in changing your name, there's 3 dots in the top right corner of your screen, and one of those options say rename, and then you can rename yourself if you'd like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I see it.
Does anyone else?
How cool is that? Thank you.
Yeah. You just never know what you're gonna learn.
Have you met Sylvia yet, Connie?
We met before we started recording and started.
Oh, if you could spend time with her, you would just fall in love. She's awesome.
Oh, I can't wait.
Vice versa.
This is great. So does anyone else want to share what personality style that they were resonating with?
I will.
Okay.
This is Jamie. I think I'm definitely yellow. and got some green, and I think there's actually a little bit of blue too.
Good, good. It'll make a difference when you know where you're coming from to make a difference with somebody else. Okay, Miss Linda, what were you gonna say?
I am definitely yellow.
Yellow.
And then some blue and some green, but very yellow.
Awesome. Awesome. I love your butterfly earrings.
Oh, thanks. My sister gave them to me.
Oh, I have a whole thing about like my logo is a butterfly. So I love it.
Oh yeah, I love it. And purple.
Yes. How awesome is that? Anyone else want to share what personality style that they see themselves as?
Blue and yellow.
Okay, great. Blue and yellow. So we have a lot
Blue
of
and
fun,
yellow over
compassionate.
here.
Jackie, what did you say?
Blue and yellow.
Blue, another blue and yellow. Okay, good, good. Anyone else? Before we move on.
Can you see me?
Oh, I see you, Dr. Deb. Yep.
I'm wondering, how can I see everybody who's in the room, but how can I see the screen that you put up? Is it still posted there?
I will post it again. I was just taking a break so that I could see everybody when they were answering.
Oh, okay.
So we talked about red,
Mm-hmm.
which is, so I don't know if you're familiar with the disc.
Oh, yeah.
So red is D,
Mm-hmm.
blue is I.
Mm-hmm.
I think C is yellow.
Hmm.
And S is green. So what would you say you mostly resonate with?
I'm not, I'm of course familiar with the desk, given what profession I'm in. I think that I'm a component of parts of most of them, but like I'm not hard to make decisions on in terms of green, and I'm certainly very social and emotional. And of course, I'm never stubborn. But I think that this tool is great for people. I'm glad that you're presenting it. I think it's helpful for people to try to see the differences between us all, right? In an organized manner.
Well, it's good that you know yourself, and then it's also good to be able to effectively communicate with other people.
Absolutely.
Because the more we can get into their world, the bigger difference we can make.
Yep. I agree.
So let me continue. Let me go through all this real quick.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Greens. Okay. The next slide is 2 questions to ask yourself when looking at yourself and others. Okay. So you can really kind of determine what personality style even a stranger is when you're just meeting them maybe for the first time and have offered to do a complimentary inner voice scan, right? Just paying attention to 2 questions can help you determine what primary color they are. So the first question you want to ask is, how fast do they seem to be making decisions? Okay. Those people who make pretty fast decisions, those are our reds and our blues. Reds and blues make decisions pretty quick. Those who take a little bit more time are yellows and greens. Yellows want to consider how it's going to impact everybody around them. And green, of course, they have to analyze everything. So that's the first question. How fast do they make a decision? The second question to ask is, are they more focused on people or are they more focused on tasks? So the people that are more focused on people are our blue and yellows. And we heard in the group, I'm blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. So for those of you who are blue and yellow, you might want to ask yourself, how fast do I make decisions? If you're making decisions faster, you're probably a blue. If you're making decisions a little slower, you're probably a yellow. Okay. And the people who are more focused on tasks are our reds and our greens. So there's a lot of information here. And if you can just remember these 2 questions, how fast do they make a decision? And are they more focused on people or tasks? That will help you know what style you're working with so that you could then tailor your conversation to their style to make the biggest difference. Okay. So our goal is to be able to bring out each of the colors inside of us because we want to be balanced, right? That's what the scanner does to us. It helps bring balance in our world. So that's our goal. Now, sometimes in our industry, we use third-party calls. What a third-party call, what that is connecting you and your prospect with an upline leader so that they could be the expert to share with them if they have any questions, especially if there's somebody that's interested in the business. So a statement that I like to use when I do third-party calls, because I don't know, I haven't spent time with them, so I'm not, we're not sure like what style we're dealing with. So we want to hit like all 4 points. So if I was going to do a third-party call and introduce Wendy to somebody, for example, I would say, I'd like to introduce you to a leader in the company. She's a leader in the company. So that hits the red box, right? She's a lot of fun. That hits the blue box. She has a huge heart for helping people. That hits the yellow box, and knows everything you need to know. That hits the green box. So if you could, when you introduce somebody to this, to Solex, and you want to make sure that they're going to pick up on one of those things, if not a couple, right? So you want to talk to them about like their leaders. They're a lot of fun. They have a huge heart for helping people, and they're going to be able to answer your questions. They know what they're talking about. Okay, so I told you I was going to talk about some NLP strategies, working with the colors. So one of the primary strategies that I teach with NLP is matching. So there's different things that we could match in the people who we're working with and talking to that can make a difference. So you want to listen. They say God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we listen twice as much as we speak. And you want to listen to the words they're using and use their words. So you'll be able to hear people say things like, well, I've really been thinking about this. Well, if they're using those words about like thinking, and I was analyzing this and I was researching that, chances are they're agreeing. And if they're talking about, oh, I had so much fun, I went out with my friends, and then I went and, had this, kind of off the wall, and they're wearing like an off the wall kind of an outfit, like they don't care, like they're just out of the box. Those are our blues. So you want to use their words when you're talking to them to create a deeper connection with them. So again, listen to what words they're using and use their words. The other thing is the speed of the voice. I know I speak really fast. That is my red and my blue coming out. I speak fast. So when I'm talking to another person who's speaking fast, guess what? I speak fast. And when I'm aware and people are talking slowly, I will consciously slow down the tempo of my voice so that my words can go in like they're used to hearing them. So again, it's about listening to what they're saying and then matching that. We could also listen to the tone of their voice. If they're really loud and expressive, then you could get louder and expressive. If they're kind of quiet, then you could be quiet. So that's another thing that you can match with them. Also, they call it big chunking and a little chunking. So I'm a little chunker. I use a lot of words. So I have lots and lots of words. Whereas some people are big chunkers. They say a lot in very few words. So I know if I'm dealing with somebody who is a big chunker, knowing myself as a little chunker, I really work hard at trying to get the big ideas across, not all the little details. Does that make sense? Also, if you're with them in person or on Zoom, you can model their body position. So, if they're doing this, then, you could do the same thing. Or if they're leaning forward, then you lean forward. And it's really about, it communicates with the unconscious that, oh, this person is paying attention to me, because you are paying attention to them because they're important to you. So these are just some of the strategies that, like, in the color styles of who they are will influence these things. Okay. So the last thing I want to share before we go on to the next part of our presentation is creating a future for them to step into easily. Okay. So we know we have this awesome program called MindSync that helps us, program into our unconscious mind our future, right? Our future goals. But the people that we're talking with, They haven't done mind sync yet. They don't know. And so there's some ways that you can speak with your prospects to help them like see what is ahead of them, right? So some phrases that you might want to use are, think about what life would look like when, you're using the scanner and you're having, so whatever their deal is that you had just had with them, like during the inner voice, you could learn a lot about people when you're doing these complimentary sessions, right? So like help them create a future for them to step into. So like think about what it would be like when you're stressed out at work and you could come home and create a new inner voice recording and just get back into balance within 5 minutes. Like think about what that would look like. And if there's somebody who's more visual, you want to use those visual words like, can you see what it's like? Can you imagine what it is? Or if it's somebody that is more auditory, you would say, can you just hear the peace in your household when everybody's using inner voice and everybody's on an even keel and happy? So you want to create that future for them with some keywords. You also could ask them what's now possible. So like we did this inner voice session, you're saying that you're feeling peaceful, and what would now be possible if you could have a tool that in 5 minutes that you would bring back balance to your life? What would that provide? What is now possible? Like think about at work, if you were in a stressful situation and 5 minutes later, like what's now possible at work, or what's now possible in your relationships when there's an upset, and in 5 minutes you could listen to a recording and be back at emotional balance. Or if you're doing a pain session, what's now possible in your life if you're not constantly plagued by pain? And again, it's about creating that future for them, with them seeing themselves using our software, right? What's now possible? And then again, like you want to use the different senses. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you hear it? And then the last one is, so when are we getting started? You just assume that of course they're going to want to get started. So once you create a future with them and have identified with them, they have felt heard and supported, and you're feeling a need because you just went through the session with them, right? Either inner voice or inner voice and with pain, or whatever your mind sync, whatever you're working with, we know that we have these solutions for them. So I don't ever really ask like, are you interested, in getting the software? I'll say, so, when do you want to get started? That's just some of the phrases that I use. So does anybody have any questions about any of the, either anything about the colors or anything about the NLP strategies? Any questions about any of that?
Connie,
Yeah.
could you go back to the last slide? I'm taking screenshots so that I can look at the screenshots and look at the notes that I'm taking. And I was so absorbed in taking notes, I missed taking a screenshot of that. Would that be too much trouble?
Is this the one you're talking about? The matching?
Yes, that's it. I will grab it right now. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I just want to say, I think this is all great. I've heard a little bit about NLP, but just so, and I have a background. I mean, my history, my professional history was in sales and sales management. So identifying with a person, getting into their shoes, and some of the phrases that you've offered here and going, now, why didn't I think of that? So I really appreciate what you're offering. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for. Share the little nuggets that we're using that are making a difference for people. Anyone else? Great question, Jackie. Okay. Well, then we're going to go on. I'm going to stop sharing the screen because I have a new screen to share. And you could probably guess already what screen I'm going to share next. pull this up, right? Oh. Well, I thought it was, let me try it again. There we are. It's the Boards app. Because I've put some more things on the Boards app and I wanted to show that to you. Let me quickly put the link in there in the chat in case you have not yet joined the Boards app. So Boards is a free app that we have, and this is where I store all of it for the team. And so it looks like this little party guy Solex team board, and for free you get 3 boards. If you want to get more boards than that, then there's a cost to that, and there's training in here on boards. And also, so Boards is on your phone as an app. It is also on a website like you see here, right? And it can also be as a Google extension. I love it. And so I want to show you some new things that I put in here. And when you log in, if you're a member of our Boards, you could go to messages and you can see some of these messages. So I'm just going to go through the ones that for the last month. So MindSync has been upgraded, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. So we know when the brain and the heart are in coherence, you're going to get exponential results. And so now MindSync not only has the things with that access the unconscious mind to reprogram your beliefs, it also has where you could select a tone, which is one of the Bach flower frequencies. So you can scan yourself to see which category in the Bach in the quantum flowers that you want to use, or you could just read through the list and see which one like looks the best to you. And then where the music is, before it just had the environmental sounds and the music. Now you could actually have your latest inner voice be your background music for MindSync. So again, they're doing more things to incorporate the heart with the mind. So, you know, I've been a big fan of MindSync from the moment that came out. And now I actually was so excited about the new MindSync upgrades that I went and I re-recorded all of my affirmations over. And I got new ones because I'm like, I want to take advantage of what's going on the emotional body too, right? So so there's a note about that. What else? Oh, so before, health was the longest one. So in the on the Boards app under MindSync, I had a list of all of these, how long each affirmation is, and health used to be the longest at over 5 minutes. So now they have health and health 2. So the regular health one is 173 seconds, health 2 is 169. However, memory is 184, so that's a little over 3 minutes. That's the longest one. So when I'm working with clients and myself and recording those affirmations, I always choose memory because that gives me up to 3 minutes. So I used to say 25 affirmations. Now I only say 20 affirmations because to keep it under that 3-minute mark. And you can do as many as you want, right? But each recording now, the most it will go is 184 seconds. So again, that's under the MindSync board. And I think I covered everything else. So all of these yes.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm obviously doing it anyway. So I was under the impression on the new changes on MindSync is that the AO4 tunes were going to be added to the background of the MindSync. And then I saw something on Facebook that just gives you the option of choosing music from the Easy Scan. So can you clarify that for me?
Yeah, let me open up the software. So I'm just going to remind everybody, when you're doing software on a Zoom, you want to go to the hamburger menu and you want to click on Clear Cache to let it have the capacity to log in. If you don't do that, it will not recognize you and I'll say you don't have a subscription.
Hey, Connie, is that when it comes back and says we can't validate you?
Yes. So if you
Nah.
hit the 3 hamburger menu over there and
Yeah.
hit clear cache, it should do that. So I'm going to
Okay.
sign out and then sign back in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we go to MindSync, so the first thing we do, so you can scan yourself and see which one your body needs because there's pre-programmed affirmations. So the custom ones obviously do not have affirmations in there, but all of these other categories already have pre-written affirmations. I like to create our own. That's just me. And then I like to have the offset hertz as mid range. That seems to be what my brain likes the best. To get access to the quantum flowers, where it says tone, the default is off. If you click it to on, there we have all of these emotions that are within the quantum flowers. So you could either just choose one that you most resonate with, or you can go under Seppi, flowers, scan, and it says lack of confidence. So then if I would go back over to MindSync, I would choose lack of confidence. But you could choose any one you want. But that's a way to do that if you can't make a decision. And then here on the music track, there's the environmental sounds like they had before. There's the music that they had before. But then here you actually click inner voice and it will go to down here at the inner voice, my last inner voice or easy scan that I did as the background music. I usually turn the music down a little bit more. The tone is regarding this tone here for the quantum flower. And you simply hit record and then either it'll time out or you can hit record again and it'll stop. And then before you send it to yourself, you have to hit play so then it'll process it correctly. The processing is kind of like the secret sauce. That's what has the recording be 28 hertz in one ear, 20 hertz in the other ear. Then the brain reads it as 8 hertz, which puts our brain into theta brainwaves. And then once you hit play, then you could hit the email button and email it to yourself. This does not store it on here. Whereas Inner Voice will store the most recent, all of the other parts of our software will store the most recent results, except for MindSync. Okay. So that's one of the announcements. Then another announcement is I added some new things. I had an intro to the AO scan video. So if you go under Inner Voice, and it's down here, Solex AO scan Inner Voice. So when I do the complimentary Inner Voice sessions with people, it's a lot of information that they're getting. The most important thing is that they know how to play the music, right? So what I did was I recorded myself going through my own reports so that they have an idea not only where to find how to play the music, but also how to interpret some of the results. So I go through their session and then I give them a link to this little video that I made. It's on YouTube. So that's there also. And then I also, under business building, in the business building folder, I don't know if you guys know this, this is also in your back office, but I also put it into boards because I like to have everything in one place. So we have a Solex liability waiver. And again, this is also in your back office. So they could write their name and who you are and then initial these statements, print and sign it. And if you're working with a parent, underage child, then the guardian can also sign. So that's back there, the liability waiver. Also, our AO scan brochure. I don't know if you guys realize we had a brochure, but we do. And if there's a place here, you can put your contact information. And this just has some general information about each of the programs. It doesn't talk about MindSync. It goes over the other areas though. It's a good introduction, right? So that's there. Also, we have our prospect email letter. Again, these are also in the back office. And so it's just a letter kind of, again, going over in more detail information. So that's a tool for you. We also have our frequently asked questions. And so I don't even know how many pages this is. Oh, there's some questions for pets. And the business side. Now, I will tell you, this is an older document. In the previous comp plan, in the very beginning, we had 3 teams. This is not how it is anymore. So some of the stuff could be outdated because I know this question here is not relevant. So there's 11 pages of frequently asked questions. So that's a great document to peruse over.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is that an editable document? Because maybe we can work on that and just get rid of some things that aren't pertinent.
It's a PDF in the back office. So if you have the software to edit PDFs, it can be editable.
All right.
And then I made a graphic. I wanted to bring this up. So we have this cruise contest, right? And June is really the last month to qualify. It goes through August 31st. However, you need to have your 15 new directs in all your different points for 3 months. And they don't have to be consecutive months, but they have to be a total of 3 months. So the last month to really qualify is June. So you have June, July, August. And so this is just a little fun little graphic that I made. So you want to earn a trip for one, you need to have 15 over your baseline, and that's in the back office. It shows us what it is for 3 of the 12 months. So you could put in the names of people, and you could also put in if you've had a rank advancement, because if you've had a rank advancement, so this is a great time to congratulate Wendy Brennan and Ken Kennedy for reaching platinum. So they get 5 points. So instead of having to get 15 over baseline, they just have to get 10 over baseline because they hit platinum. So, and then when your direct people, when they rank up, it's 1 less than this. So when Ken hit platinum, so Wendy got 5 points for hitting platinum. And when Ken got platinum, he got 4 points. So that's 9 minus 15. So that just means she needs to have 6 people to earn the cruise, which I think she does.
I hope so.
Yeah. So you go in your back office and look at more details around that. On the blog, on the Solex blog, has all the specifics about the cruise contest. And that's down here at the bottom, solexglobal.com/blog/Mexican Riviera Cruise. So this is just a little graphic that I made just to help you keep track of it if this is something that you're working for. But because it is May, and really you have to have everything in by the end of June. So everyone still has plenty of time if they are focused and want to do this to get that done. So that's there as well. Let me see. I have some more things in here, but I want to see what the other announcements were. With that. I also added some new affirmations around learning our software. So sometimes when people get started, they can be overwhelmed. And so I have a whole folder under MindSync of affirmations that I've already used. And so here's this prompt that I like to use. I changed it to 20 affirmations because now we only have 3 minutes to record. So I say create 20 affirmations written by an NLP coach for the following goals, and you write the goal. Here's 2 AI search engines that you can use. And so I did one around learning the software because I was working with someone who was a little overwhelmed with learning the software. And so here's the ones that you could read if you want on learning the software, right? So literally anything you want to accomplish, we could create affirmations for and help develop brain patterns around that of what you want. So already in under MindSync, there's affirmations for, you know, building your Solex business, on abundance, pain-free, emotional balance, weight release, sleep affirmations, soulmate affirmations, immune support. Here's some prosperity ones. And then what I will tell you is there's a guy that I follow and actually know Noah St. John has a book called Affirmations. And he, it's different than affirmations. Affirmations, he asks questions. And so I had this. So you always ask why, because when you ask the brain a question of why, it goes to search for look for the answer. And so here's this full list. I don't even know how many pages it is, but he has different categories. So instead of saying I accomplished anything I set my mind to, you would ask, why do I accomplish anything I set my mind to? So you could change your affirmations into why questions. And so here's a list with some mental attitude affirmations, physical and your health, money and abundance, relationships and love. Like, why do I radiate love and happiness? You know, your brain goes to work on answering that for you. Career, spiritual, and then different combinations. So that resource is in there. Here I have some why affirmations that I had created, and I just put those in there. So you could play around, create your own, play around. Here, this MindSync affirmations are the ones that are currently in the device. So if you like those, I think I would give them a C. They're not my favorite, but they're okay. I like creating my own. I think that's more powerful. That's just me. Some other things that I added to this since we last got together is under Cephi. So when they had the Day of Discovery in March, you know, we got the AO Tune and multicast. So with AO Tune, we now have more opportunities to have other different frequencies. And so here's under Cephi playlists are all these playlists, right? And at the bottom, I thought I added this in here. I can't find it. Let me add it in real quick. I thought for sure I added it yesterday. Let me show you how to add something to a board. This is how easy it is. Click on add. It's a PDF file. Here it is. This is 41 pages. So I have it dated. This is when it was released. There it is. So if you're wondering what are all of our Cephi frequencies are, it's in this 41-page document. And so a couple things, how you could use this. When you're creating Cephi playlists and you are looking for a specific topic to use, you could have this at your fingertips to see like what are the different things that are available, right? So here's all the frequencies under quantum reach, quantum affirmations, quantum frequencies, which there's just in that category alone, 455 options. Here's the other thing. You could actually use this as a prospecting tool. So like you could read through this list and see like, who do I know that's dealing with something with muscle, joint pain, and lower back? Or, you know, like pick one, you know, knee pains, pinworms. I mean, there's all kinds of, there's so many things in our scanner. Here's all the quantum flowers. And this is really great because they also include what these flowers are good for. So here's all these quantum flowers. There's 108 of them. Here's the quantum chakras. Here's our inner voice tones. Here's our what's under quick scan. And you know there's 3 options under each one. So if you don't like, so if you go to grounding and you're used to like, I know a lot of people like to hear the birds, and you're not hearing the birds yet, just click on it again and it'll change, because there's one that's an ocean, there's one, so if you just keep clicking on it, you'll hear the different ones. So there's the quick scan ones. Here's energy, homeo, energetics, which is a lot of where the detoxes are. And then they show you what each one is for. So if you're curious, like, well, what is this ADRTHY support? Well, it supports the adrenals and the thyroid, and it specifically talks a little bit about that. So if you're not sure what each of these detoxes are under there, it'll teach you about that. Here, Camusia, I don't know if y'all know, this is 60 times stronger than an orange. This is like, if you really want to get vitamin C into your field, this is what you want to use. So not only does it have the list, it also has the usage for it. Then here's the Cepheid dots. And if you're not sure what the Cepheid dots do, what the frequencies are for, here again, there's a description of each one. And then here's all the quantum homeopathics. Holy guacamole. Look at all these homeopathic remedies that we have. 404. And then we have 12 cell salts and 26 nosodes. And then here's our newest part, our AO tune. And here it shows what frequencies are back there and what it resonates at. So it has all of those. And then here's under quantum homeopathics, here's all the symptoms in the end. If you're talking to somebody and they're talking about, I know we have a QLA that's focusing with working with teenagers on acne, like, here we go. So I tell everyone this software is just limited to your imagination. So there's, how many symptoms do we have here? Oh my goodness, 486 symptoms. So that complete list is now in boards, okay, under Cepheid. Also, what I did, I think it's under business building, I created some checklists. So I have them individually, but I also have them all, it's a PDF of all 5. And so these are just some checklists that you might want to use. You don't have to use them, but it's like when you're first getting someone started, this is just a checklist about where all the resources are. So here's our Solex back office and Solex University and our blog and our team boards page and our Facebook group and our YouTube channel. And this is how you get to the software. And here, you want to make sure you create a profile for yourself and your family members. You want to add your supplements under your profile. You want to click on that green book and add them in there. You want to manage client groups. It's also under profile, and add a group for multicast. I think multicast, I look at multicast as my daily prayer list. So I have a family, I could just call it family group. And then I run multicast every day. And that's like my daily prayers that I send out to people. So that's on the getting started checklist. Then we have a daily routine. And again, this is just my daily routine. It doesn't have to be your daily routine. I'm just saying this is one way you could use it. So I always start with aura clearing, that's under quick scan, or a shield under quick scan, grounding under quick scan. Then I run the easy scan. After I run it, I listen to my inner voice songs. I listen to the time of day scan. I balance my chakras and my meridians. I imprint the Cepheid frequencies into my body, my jewelry, water, just depends on what it is. And I listen to my mind sync audios. Now I will just tell you, I listen to my mind sync audios while I'm doing these other things. So that those are running anyway. And then I run multicast on my family group. You don't have to do this. This is just what I'm doing. Sylvia, did you have a question?
Excuse me. Yes, I was wondering, how do you do the chakras, or what does it say? Balance, chakra, and meridians?
Yep.
How do you do that?
I'll show you.
Thank you.
So under easy scan, the reports. Here's my report from today. So all of my chakras are balanced. And if there was something that was not balanced, I would go to Cepheid. So you could go to Cepheid under chakras, and then I would run the frequencies. I'd broadcast the frequencies of the ones that were not balanced. That's how I balance the chakras. And under meridians, I trace the meridians, and sometimes I'll use the illuminator light. So for example, right now, this morning, my stomach meridian was low. And so I take my illuminator and I trace. So do you see these little dots here? Let me see.
Yes.
Okay. So that shows the meridian pathway. And it shows that it's going, that arrows are going down. So that means I start here underneath my eye and go back, down, and end at my second toe. So I literally will take the illuminator, or you could take a laser, just be really careful around your eyes. Or you could just use intention and use your hands and move the energy, right? So that's one way. Like the other one that was bladder was this morning. So that was another one going down. So each of the pictures show the meridian pathway. So those are the two that were off this morning. The other thing I do is I wait. If you wait about 15 minutes, you can run vitals again. And oftentimes just running vitals again will do the trick. Wendy, what was your question?
I don't think I had
Thank
one.
you.
Oh, okay.
Wendy, your hand is still up.
Do I need to pull that off? That was me. Oh, I guess I have to lower it. Okay.
I just want to make
Is
sure.
that right? Is that good now?
Yes.
All righty.
Does that make sense how I balance my
Yes,
meridians?
thank you so much. That's amazing.
Yep.
Hey, Connie,
Yes.
I've heard some people say that instead of having to run the whole vitals scan again, they can just go back in within the 10, 15 minutes and just click on the optimize and it'll just optimize from that. So that
Yes,
was,
that's all you do. You just hit optimize.
okay,
And if you are just concerned about your meridians, you could deselect everything and then just select meridians and have those run again.
great.
Yep. Okay, and then I have my inner voice session. This is the complimentary session I do. And again, we start with aura clearing, aura shield, grounding, inner voice. Then I email the audios to them. I play the 5 minutes under pulse tones. I teach them how to play the audios and review the report. I imprint joy. I forgot this. Ask if they have any pain, and then run the pain relief session, which is the next box, next checklist we're going to go through. I imprint the joy Cephi playlist into the heart. I ask them to share the results with me, and I ask permission to follow up with them. And then I also ask, who do you know that would like a session like this to give away? That's what I do. This is not you figure out what works best for you. This is just what I do. So I just am trying to show everyone, like in the form of a checklist, because that's my red, right? I like to check things off. Here's our pain relief session. It starts off the same as the inner voice session. And then we go to erase the pain, imprint the ultimate pain relief on the front and the back of the pain. I use the new AO Tune transducers, which I love, 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 love. And if the pain relief list doesn't work, then we go to under the AO Tune Solfeggetto Guilt and Fears. I'll look under homeopathic symptoms to see if maybe that's what they need as a homeopathic remedies. We look at the Cephi dots and we can imprint the pain frequency one under Cephi into that area. I always end with a joy because it's wonderful. People always are like, oh, I just feel so much better, you know? So I like to leave people in that higher frequency state. And then the last one is this mind sync session. I always start with the same thing about inner voice because I'm telling you that is the foundation of everything. We enter the SMART goal into ChatGPT to create the affirmations. And then in mind sync, I do memory, mid, the tone is the emotion, and inner voice sound. That's what I like to use. Record the affirmations, play to process the audio, and then email it to the client. So those are all the different checklists. All 5 are listed here. The other ones are listed like under inner voice is the inner voice session and the pain relief session. Under mind sync is the mind sync session. Under AO scanner, that's the daily routine. But if you want all 5, that's under business building. So I think that's everything. That's all the new things in boards. So, any questions over anything that we covered today?
I love those checklists. I need to get into boards and see all the wonderful things you're posting, but man, those are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And you can email them to yourself. You know, you could, if, you know, it has all my goodies in one place. I love it. No matter where I'm at in the world, because they're on my phone. I can log in onto a computer anywhere and access them. I know Wendy's a big fan of Telegram. She has everything there. I'm the crazy boards lady.
Well, I think they're all important. It's not like one over another, you know?
Right. They're
Um,
just different, the format.
Yeah, and I think of Telegram is not the best storage place for our information. The boards is definitely the best storage place for our information. But Telegram is what an amazing communication tool, you know,
Yes.
for everybody to pop in and see what we're doing, where, when, and how, and ask questions. So, yeah.
Awesome. So our next session, I think, Jackie, you're going to be sharing some, personal growth and development things with us. Is that right?
Yes, I'm planning on doing something on intention setting, some out of the box thinking. And I realized I need to learn how to do Zoom and I need to get a computer operational. And so I'm going to talk to Wendy about that, but I'm really excited to do it. I've been collecting a lot of notes and I think it'll be a fun time. So yeah.
Awesome. So I have it that it's it's always the third Sunday. So that's June 16th. And we are currently doing these at 4:00. If there is a significant majority of people that want to do it at a later time, we could discuss that. So reach out to me if that is a thing for you. We're definitely open to, like, I try to be as flexible as I can.
Well, I brought it up to Connie today because, you know, when the weather is so nice like this, I think people can be out and about in the middle of so many things and thinking about barbecuing and all that stuff. So 4:00 might be a interruption in the middle of a beautiful warm day. So I'm just kind of considering how people would feel about doing it later in the evening.
I would be up for that.
Okay. We're also talking about having another, so this is once a month, and having a once a month Q&A. So if you want to jump on and ask questions, and, you know, we try to have the best answers if we can, or we'll research or point you in the direction of where they're at, where the answers are. Would that be something that people would be interested in, do you think, you and your team members?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, just know, I mean, you can always ask in the Telegram page anytime, anywhere. But you know, this one, a lot of people like interactive conversation because then you can follow up. You know, you ask your question, you get your answer, then it kind of leads you into more territory. So it's just way more interactive.
If we're voting, I say yes.
Okay. It's just something that hit me. I just felt a need for it. It just seemed like that would be welcome by people. Yeah.
The other thing I want to tell you is, because Wendy and I are at the platinum level, we've been invited to the leadership retreat in June in St. George. And it's going to be an opportunity to be with, there's 22 total leaders that are going to be there. And Kai and Shelby will be there, as well as Lauren. So if you have any burning feedback or questions for them, make sure you get those to us. We're leaving early on June 20th and we'll be back late on June 23rd. So that is a huge blessing that we get to be part of that.
Yeah, can you imagine just like one small room of people being able to ask Lauren, like, really just anything that you've thought about that you don't know that he'll ever tell on the videos?
Yeah. So you definitely want to mark your calendar for the July business building Zoom, because we're going to have all the things to share. The hot tips from the leadership retreat, that will be our July topic.
Perfect.
Any
Connie,
other
can I ask a quick question? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I had heard Lauren say somewhere on a video that you could be a surrogate voice for someone, and then I wanted to confirm that, so I called customer service, and they said, we hadn't heard of that. So Tammy said that today on one of the threads, and she invited me to contact her, so I gave her my number. But do you have anything to say on that in terms of being a surrogate voice for another?
I've heard him talk about a mother being a surrogate for a child. And I know we could use our surrogate bodies, for anything that we're doing. So I don't see why not. It's all really, I think it's about intention.
Oh, I agree with that. I just didn't know if there was anything specific.
But I heard him say also at one point when he was teaching on inner voice that you could even get their breathing sounds.
Yeah.
So I would personally, I would think a breathing sound would be preferable and more accurate than a surrogate.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is I have a lady that I know that's signed up under one of my people, and she's in a lot of pain and with cancer, and sometimes she just does not have the energy to do it, or she's sleeping. So we could be doing more with her instead of waiting to get this inner voice each time and be balancing her with inner voice and then scan. So that was my reason for asking.
So
I believe go ahead.
I have clients that will Facebook message me or text message me a 10-second clip. So whenever she is awake, she could always record it and send it. And then you could do it whenever the next time that you're doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I've asked her to do that, and she's just really struggling a lot. So that's why, and again, I'm totally in alignment. I believe that everything is intention. But I just didn't know if there's anything specific that you had heard on that. So I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. Great question.
I have a quick question. What is the name of the Telegram group? I don't think I had joined that.
Wendy, do you want to answer that?
I didn't quite.
Oh, she wanted to know about the Telegram group.
Well, we have 2 of them.
Okay.
So are you talking about the team one, or are you talking about the testimonies one?
Either one, the one that you were saying that you use for communication, and I just kind of like to follow some of those conversations.
Sure. So should I just post it, Connie, over in the
chat?
In the chat? You want me to do that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is something that Wendy does for her team, and she generously shares with other people that are not on her group.
Well, I have to share with Connie because you do so much for me.
Okay,
I have to help. I have to help you too. Well, I don't want to say it like that. I have to. Like, I love to help you, Connie.
We work well together.
Let's see. Well, Connie, let me do this. I'm having a hard time getting to it for some reason. This way, let me send them both to you, and then you can send an email to your team.
Okay. Now, Jamie, are you working with Troy?
Yes. Yeah. I didn't know if it was a whole group under you, Connie thing, or if it was, I'm just looking for all the information I can get. So,
can Troy invite Jamie? Because
I think Troy, have you ever tried to grab the invitation link yourself from our group?
No, I haven't used it yet. So.
Oh, okay.
I could send it to Troy and Troy could send it to Jamie.
Okay, that's great. And then we have the testimonies one. Okay, let me explain this. So our one that's called Solex Support Team Soundnotic. I named it Soundnotic because I have a business called Soundnotic. That one is what I call private. So you have to be in our team to be on it. And then the AO Scan testimonies is public. And that's really cool because that means you can invite anybody to go look at those testimonies and see what our team is doing to help other people. So it's affirmation of what we're doing is working. And anybody you can just share that with anybody.
Okay, great. Yeah, that testimony one would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like a great prospecting tool, because once you've explained to everybody what you're doing, then you're like, here, go see what we're doing. Because it's pretty awesome what we're doing, you know. It's like people are like, really? Gosh, it does that, it does that, it does that. It's, yeah,
Cool. Thank you.
all good.
So Jamie, are you on Telegram already?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And because the only way I know how to do this is if I invite you directly.
Okay.
And are you listed as Jamie Given?
Yes.
JAIMIE
Yep.
It's not showing up that you're. Let me look.
I wonder if you have to be contacts already. I don't know how to do that. I usually just use that little magnifying glass to search for different, groups. So
Yeah.
is it Solex testimonials, or what's the name of it? I could just go search for it if it's public.
So the group is called Solex Support Team Soundnotic, SOUNDNOTIC.
Okay.
And then what's the testimonial group called? I don't see it on my, I know I'm in here, but I don't. Wendy?
Oh, I'm sorry. What's it?
Is it AO Scan Testimonies?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go search for that. Thank you.
Awesome. Okie doke. Any other questions?
Wendy, is there an invitation link for Telegram? So when we sign somebody new up, we can send that out, or does that need to come from you?
Well, that's a good question. I've always wondered if people have been able to do it themselves. I haven't asked anybody to try, but because I am the originator of it and I'm an administrator, it may be kind of locked down. Like maybe I'm the one that has control of it, but I don't know. I would love for you to go in there and kind of poke around and see if you can find an invitation link.
And it's on the Telegram page itself. Just click on lines and dots. Okay.
Yeah, click on things. If you click on the picture, it's a good time to explain to people. If you'll click on that little circle picture and open it up, it ends up showing a blue band that has like media links and all kind. There's lots of information. Every single thing, every picture we've ever posted here, every training we've ever done is actually stored in there. And it's stored by month. So, you would go, I guess we built this last fall. So you would, if you wanted to get a really old training from when we started, you would, go back to the beginning. But I noticed they store them by month. It's not the best storage container. I'm building a website now, and I'm going to have a link on there. It says, it'll say something like, team access, and then you'll click on it, and then you'll have to put in your own credentials to get in. And, but that's where I'm going to store a whole bunch of information. Things that you can just print right out.
Wendy, am I still live? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So a couple people back, I had saved what I thought was the address to join yours and also Meg's group, and those didn't work. So I had to ask you for new ones, but I haven't poked around on Telegram. So just that feedback of trying to use a former link, it seemed to need to be live each time, but I'll poke around.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
We covered a lot today.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, great presentation, Connie. Thank you so much.
Oh,
really good.
This is my jam. I was a teacher for 25 years, and I started teaching when I was 13. I had my own piano studio for 20 years, and it's just how my brain is wired. So I love it.
Well, I'd say it's wired real good.
Well, and with the mind sync stuff, I'm telling you, that is no joke. It is. My clients are getting amazing results, so it's exciting.
Well,
Okay, so-
without saying too much, you are too, Connie, because Connie's been through a lot this last year. And I was telling her today, I said, I just don't know how you do what you do and keep that beautiful glow and smile on your face. And she says, honestly, it's mind sync.
True story. True story. I've
So-
developed the brain patterns that support the life I want to have.
So I'm still not clear, if you would indulge me just 1 minute, that when you click on the IV tone, that doesn't give you a tone, it gives you a selection of music from the IV, or is there, I know
It
there was a
gives you-
tone from the flower.
The tone is with quantum flowers. The background music, I'll show you. So the tone that you hear, you'll hear just a like, you'll just hear
Okay.
like literally a tone. That's where you pick the emotion, right? And then if you want inner voice, you click on inner voice and it goes back and finds your most recent inner voice. And that's the background music.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's just the background music, because Josie Rosie or whoever who posts a lot, she said, just to make it clear, that does not include the 4 tones from your inner voice. It just includes the last music selection from your inner voice.
I don't know if that's accurate because this is not what I played the last time. For me, it's saying upbeat, calm trance, and that's not what I listen to.
Well, I was doing the happy dance because I'm thinking, man, I can knock out listening to my 4 inner voice tones at the same time while I'm listening to my affirmations while I'm sleeping. And then she put that out. So
I don't know where she got that information. Well, Wendy, I'll mark that down as a question
Okay.
for leadership.
All righty.
thank you.
Yeah, that I don't know where she heard that. I'm not saying that's not true. That's not my understanding, but y'all do know if you go to inner voice under pulse tones and click pulse cycle, you see how all 4 light up? All 4 of those boxes light up. That means the 2000. So every song that we have, like in classic tones, like these 4 right here, or in pulse tones, it's these 4 right here, same ones. Each one has over 2000 frequencies, right? Designed to bring us back into balance. And you can play just one at a time this way. However, when we hit pulse cycle, do you see they all light up? So in 5 minutes, you can get all 8,000 of your frequencies in 5 minutes. I don't know if you all knew that.
And so if you have like a really acute situation, like if had some people in ICU and a cat was dying, I played it all night long. But really, all we need is the 5 minutes, because I'm trying to work it where I can get all these things worked in and
Yes.
not do overkill and do what's really necessary. So typically 5 minutes is enough. But then I try to time it so I can wear at least 2 of the colored glasses for 15 minutes each. And oh, listen, I got to share this. I had on the red glasses out in the yard and everything turned gray except for the red. And then when I put on the purple ones, it is a gardening tool, ladies and gentlemen. What shows up with the purple glasses on is all those leaves that you didn't get picked up out of your flower beds or straw. I mean, it was just like neon glowing. So I just chuckled to myself.
That's a hot tip. Can you put that in the Facebook group?
Oh, sure.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I had a gentleman who was married to an artist, and his family put all of her art in a book for him. And she had passed. And when I went to visit him, he lives in north of Salt Lake City. So when I was there for a convention 2 years ago, I went to go see my friend Harvey, who's like 88. And I did the scan on him and I brought the glasses out and he's like, I wonder what these glasses would do when I look at Ada's art. And I'm like, well, let's find out. So he gets her art book out, which is near and dear to his heart. And he starts putting on the different glasses, looking at her art through these glasses. And he was weeping and weeping and weeping. It was so beautiful. So I sent him a whole set of glasses. Like, he doesn't have the software, but he's so happy to use the color therapy glasses to see Ada's art. It's powerful. The color glasses, color therapy is a real thing. It makes a difference.
I found an article and I need to find it again because I found it the second time and it just absolutely blew me out of the water. It was a female doctor who had been curing everything across the board with chromotherapy. And then something happened with the hospital where she was working that either she had to leave or the new chromotherapy equipment they brought in. So she left, but I had no idea how powerful it is. But I figured, if Lauren has decided to include this with the AO scan process, then there's got to be something to it or he wouldn't bother. But this article blew me away. When I find it, I'll post it on Telegram and the Facebook page.
That would be great. I will tell you, when we were healing Nicholas's autism using energetic medicine, and we had imprinted vials, we'd put in his socks and tap on his body or the meridian points and all the things. Part of it was color therapy. And so I'd put the little glasses on him. And so I've been playing with the color therapy since 2003. So it's like I said, it's a real thing. It makes a difference. Also, I'm going to tell people, if you are working on healing something and want to boost your stem cells, when you play back under pulse tones, if you change the wave to square wave, or if you're on the AO tune, we could choose which kind of wave sound. If you go to square wave, it's been proven that the square wave helps your body, is more conducive to producing stem cells.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, to that note, I heard some people say that they didn't like the sawtooth, that it seemed too violent. And what I make that mean when I hit that auto mix button and it selects it for me, man, I don't care which one's doing it, but I made those mean that it was just severing any false beliefs that I had. So I had that saw working for me.
Context is decisive. I always tell my clients, whatever glasses you're wearing, whatever view you're seeing of the world, if you're, I tell people the most important decision you can make outside of your relationship with God, really in the universe, is if you're going to be a 2 or a 4. And what I mean by that is, are you that has someone life is working, life is happening to you, or are you going to upgrade to a different pair of glasses where life is happening for you? Makes all the difference in the world.
Sure does.
Is your view.
I want to add one more thing while it's in my mind. And this is something that one of my downline mentioned to me that, y'all maybe already know this, but under Steffi dots, you can select cellular restore.
Yep.
And that helps you to produce more stem cells.
That's true.
And
I've been wearing that one. I've been wearing that one lately.
Well, and she went on to say that there was some company that was charging $99 a month for a patch.
Yep.
And she says, and we get it for free in our AO scan.
Yep. It's called LifeWave. And it's that 39 patch, and they're very expensive. And we have programmable. When I talk to a LifeWave person, I'm like, that's all great. And I used LifeWave before I knew about Solex, before Solex was even a thing. LifeWave has been around for a while. So it was in 2019, someone had shared some patches with me and they were great. However, they're only for whatever categories they have. This is custom for you, because you can program other frequencies in those Cepheid dots, not just the ones that are listed.
Okay, so here's the question with that. I tend to be more is better, which if you looked at my closet, it's saying more is less. But so I tend to like max out on the 15 frequencies I can put in there. And I heard Lauren say that really, 7 or 8 is better. So I haven't started using the Cephi dots. I've read a little bit about them, but can you put too many different playlists?
Your body will
them?
only accept what it needs.
But
So-
didn't Lauren say that you could like confuse it if you gave it too much?
I think the body knows.
Okay.
So I have the Cephi dots, but I also use my transducers and use these playlists. So for example, I'm working on releasing more weight. And so I put the transducer here. And then I do it right underneath my navel. And I run this perfect body. I charge my one on my legs. I wear one here, but then I take my transducers and I put them on my body and run that program with the transducers also.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
So all of these, you could use your transducers. So like the Beauty or Youth Eternal, I run those here because I'm working on, as I'm releasing weight, I have saggy skin and in my neck. And so I'm working on having that not be the case, right? And so I put those transducers right there and run that every day. You know, it takes 20 seconds.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, this is great.
Yeah, those Q&A sessions are going to be great.
I think so.
Yeah.
Great idea. Great idea.
Thank you.
Okie doke. Well, I'm going to hit stop recording.